Welcome to The Walking Dead All Out War, and we are working our way through the Moles Behind Us campaign. We are up to Chapter 3, Friendly Fire. In Chapter 2, it was counted as a victory, so we get an extra 10 points to spend on equipment. This mission, we have Rick and Otis, and it couldn't be easier. All we got to do is walk off the board edge. That is our one and only victory condition. Now I have put 2 walkers, well, half a walker on that side, and a walker on this side eating a deer, just as markers. They're not actually walkers, but we'll get to that in a moment. First up, the event cards. We need to take out the alarm card. There it is. And we need to add 2 cards from the Moles Behind Us expansion. And they are... well, that's Escape Livestock and Mega Herd. It's not those 2. That's better. And that cards that we're adding is Fire and Grim Recognition. So we'll get them in there. We'll shuffle the deck. And while I'm doing that, we'll go through the scenario. There are no supplies at all in this scenario. And we also have Shambling Hordes. So I'll put the 2 walkers, the half a walker and the walker eating the deer, as markers. Every turn after the first, we roll a white dice. That amount of walkers enter play using an action dice to state which side they appear on. If you notice, Carl was actually on the battlefield, but he takes no part in the game. He's literally just been shot by Otis, and one of the survivors have to carry him off the escape edge to win the game. Because we got the extra points in Chapter 2, Rick has gone down to a hatchet for 12 points, and Otis has got his Browning hunting rifle. Well, he had to have something to shoot Carl with, and the threat level on this mission starts at 4. But here we go. Literally, we've just got to carry Carl from one side of the board to the other. How hard can that be? We're going to start by activating Otis, and Otis can sneak forward 4 inches. And for his second action, we're going to use his hunting rifle, and we're going to try to get rid of this walker. We have 4 red dice in total, and we rolled a 5 with a crit. The walker can't defend it, we'll roll it anyway, gets a blank. 1 shot, 1 kill, but that does make mayhem, so that is going to put our threat tracker up to 5. And now we need to move the walkers in. So the first walker will be stopped by the hay bales. These are out of range. Yep. This one is going to walk straight into the hay bale. And this one is going to shamble 6 straight towards Otis. I don't think any more are in range. Nope. Now we get to activate Rick. As Rick is carrying Carl, he can only sneak. But first up, we're going to hold his nerve. Threat tracker down by 1, so it's back down to 4. And we're going to sneak Rick just behind Otis. I think that's staying out of the kill zone. And move Carl behind in base contact with Rick, just to show that Rick is still carrying him. We need to check the kill zones. Yeah, they weren't in. And now it's event card time. So our first event card is going to be Distracted. Threat level 4, low threat. Move 1 walker in the direction of my choice. That will do. Come on, let's hopefully have a nice easy mission. We'll move the yellow top walker straight back 6 where it came from. So we're trying to make the right hand side easier to get through. Ignore the left. But Otis got a headshot. I need to do his ammo roll. And he's out of ammo. What hunter goes hunting with just 2 bullets? He shoots Carl, On the way back, shoots a walker, runs out of ammo. Ugh. But that is the end of the first turn, so we get to move on to the second turn now. First up, the threat tracker goes up by 1, so we're back up to 5. And now we've got to see where the walkers appear, if any. So we need a white dice. This is how many walkers come on. 1. And now we need an action dice. On a shield, it comes on this side. On a blank, it comes on this side. I want a blank. And obviously I get a shield. Okay, so the walker comes on the right-hand side. As I said, these are just markers. So this is exactly where the first walker has to come on. And that is it. Now for the actions. First of, I'm going to activate Rick, and he is just going to sneak forward. I'm going to move him more to the right than I'm going to go for Otis, because he can be the first line of defense now. And for my second action, I'm going to hold my nerve. Now that's a nice roll. That puts the threat tracker back down to 2. And now to move Otis. Otis is just going to sneak forward 4 inches, nice and close to Rick. That should do it. And my second action, he's going to also hold his nerve. Let's see if we can get it down to 1. No, he fails. There's nothing in the kill zones. So event card. Event card this time. All quiet, low threat. Move 1 eligible walker. Perfect. That is perfect, because that means this walker in the pink dress is going to... Yep, is going to move into base contact with Rick, meaning Rick needs to put Carl down. Within an inch of Rick, I'm going to put Carl down in base contact with Otis. Though I am going to put a prone counter next to Carl to show that he's not actually being carried at the moment. And now we go on to the melee phase. Melee phase put the threat tracker back up to 3. Rick has 2 white dice. And we roll a 3. That'll do. Walker can't defend it. Got a 1 but can't defend it. So we push this walker back and we'll stick that one prone. And now we're into the end phase. So the end phase, we've just got to roll an action dice. And the walker gets straight back up. Didn't need to put the prone counter down. Alright, that's the end of turn 2. Everything's going pretty well at the moment. As Otis run out of ammo, he's going to need to carry Carl. Rick's going to have to be the defender. Just got to get down to the escape edge. We'll get there. We'll kick straight on with turn 3. Threat tracker goes up to 4. And again, we've got to roll for the extra walkers. We need 1 white dice. That's a 1. 1 more walker comes on. Action dice to say which side. Okay, I think I'll re-roll that one. Right, blank. So it comes on the left-hand side this time. That suits me. Everything's going to plan. If there is a plan. And now we're going to activate... We're going to activate Otis, and his first action is going to be to pick up Carl. So we'll take away the prone marker. And his second action is going to be sneak. Just going to sneak him forward. Keep Carl in base contact with him because he's carrying him. And now for Rick. Rick is going to hold his nerve. Just a 1. And he's also going to sneak forward. And there's nothing in the kill zones. Doesn't look like it. We'll just double check. Yeah, well out. Event card time. And this time we get Pandemonium. +1 to the threat. We got to roll a blue dice and move that many walkers towards the nearest survivor. And then a white dice of walkers enter play. So blue dice first. We got a 2. Well, I'm going to move the 2 walkers into Rick. get the right template. There we go. So yeah, that's both walkers into Rick, and now a white dice for how many walkers enter play. Just one. We'll get one walker, and we'll put it where Rick and Otis started, so we don't actually have to worry about that. We're almost home. Melee phase puts the threat up by 1 again. We're now on 6, but Rick, 2 white dice, 2 and a 1, and a crit. That's alright, and the walkers get 3 red dice. And they have 2 in total. Rick wins by 1, but it is a headshot. So we kill 1 walker. I'll take away the Mohawk. And the other walker just gets pushed back. Everything seems to be going really well at the moment. We're closing in on the escape edge. Just gotta hope that the event cards keep being kind to me. Okay, so let's move on to turn 4. First up, the threat tracker goes up by 1, so that's going up to 7. And now we have to do the walkers. So we need a white dice. None. No extra walkers this turn. Alright, I've just got to get off the board. So I'm going to start with Otis. Otis is going to sneak forward, and he's carrying Carl. And then Rick is going to... hold on a minute. Otis is going to hold his nerve. Yep, that does it. Put the threat tracker down to 6. And then Rick is going to sneak forward. And there we go. His action, he's going to hold his nerve as well. Knock it down by another 1. There is nothing in our kill zones. Event card time. And we're going to get Grim Recognition. +1 to the threat. Well, that puts it back up to 6. Now, if there was a walker in Rick or Otis's kill zone, we would have to panic on our next turn. But thankfully there isn't. Up to 6 it goes. And now the end phase. Next turn. We'll move straight on to the next turn. Threat tracker up to 7. And we need to roll the white dice. And we get 1. Blank comes on the left hand side. That shouldn't end up being a problem as we're so close to the escape edge. And now for our actions. And I think we might start off with Otis. Sneaking him down. No, actually, I think we'll start with Rick. We'll sneak Rick down. And for his second action, I'm just going to hold my nerve. And we'll knock the threat down by 2. That'll do. And now we'll move on to Otis. Otis is going to also sneak forward. And of course we'll move Carl along with him because Otis is carrying Carl at the moment. That's our action phase done. Kill zones. I think I've placed it so it's out, but let's just double check. This is close. Let's move it. No, just outside the kill zone. Only just. And now for Otis's side. And he is just out as well. So we got the positioning perfectly. Nothing in the kill zones. Let's move on to the event card. The event card is, there's a storm coming. +1 threat. Well, it's low threat at the moment. And then we've got to add another threat and draw 2 more cards. So that puts the threat level back up, but we're just in low threat still. We've got another 2 cards. Let's see what we get for the first one. First one is Roamers. We need to move 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. Well, that means I'm going to pick this walker right here, and I'm going to move him straight into base contact with Rick. And I see what we get for our second event card. Won't stay down. Perfect. There are no prone walkers, so we just add 1 to the threat level. And that's that done. So we have one walker in combat with Rick. I think we can honestly say that I'm going to win this one. We've just got the combat with Rick to do. So 2 white dice. Okay, Walker gets 1 red. Got 1. I take A damage. Could have been worse. But I've still won. Just got to go through the motions. The Walker pushing Rick back. The start of the new turn, putting the threat up by 1. And then rolling the white dice. 1 Walker, action dice. Shield, right hand side. Chuck the extra Walker down. And then it's my action phase where I can sneak off the board with Otis, Carrie and Carl. And then sneak off the board with Rick. And that is the chapter 1. I was pretty confident I was going to win that one all the way through. Nothing really went against me. But you imagine if that Walker on that last turn of melee got a crit and Rick suffered a bite. Now that would have messed me up for the rest of the campaign. But I got away with it. Hope you enjoyed. I'll move on to chapter 4. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one.